you're gonna take away one of the better actors who's playing one of the better superheroes right now of all time. What's wrong with the Warner Brothers? Going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, Sam Darnold on Monday Night Football got his first win against the Detroit Lions. Sorry, my brother, he's a Detroit Lions fan, sorry about that, but it looked very unpromising because his very first throw in the NFL was a pick six. But of course, he just comes back and does what he normally does and, you know, controls himself and controls the game. And it's like he did at USC, he did it in the NFL, and luckily his defense and special teams stepped up as well. So good, and congrats to him. Hopefully it's continued success for all those Trojans on the Jets team. Then also we have more USC news with quarterbacks. JT Daniels, he is feeling a lot better after today, the past few days. The bruising has gone down. He's able to grip the ball a lot better, so he is ready to go against Texas. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with that hand and nothing comes up after playing in such a big game like that this Saturday. Then Chase Williams, he's a cornerback. He's actually from pretty much around here. He went to Roosevelt High School, or near where I live, and he's at USC. He plays cornerback, but right now he's going to try out and see if they can use him at safety because he isn't getting much playing time at that position. And of course, USC is just continuing to lose guys at the safety position, and still no word on Bubba Bolden yet. I think they asked Clay Helton that question yesterday, and he couldn't give an answer for some reason. And also, Luol Deng does sign with Minnesota. Congrats to him. I don't know why the Minnesota front office is letting Tom Thibodeau make, you know, all these ex-Bulls come and play for him, especially when some of them are pretty much a bit past their prime. I think he's just missing Joakim Noah, but he hasn't been let go of the Knicks, so I just hope for Minnesota Timberwolves fans' sake that that does not happen for them. Out of the many USC Trojans, over 40 that played in the NFL over the weekend, did at least got some stats, which is pretty cool to see right there. It's pretty awesome. It's always good to see stuff like that they're still contributing, especially led by Sam Darnold, Juju Smith-Schuster, who's on my fantasy team, and then also Nelson Aguilar. And then with his performance against Cleveland, which just somehow ended up in a tie for Pittsburgh, Juju Smith went over already 1,000 yards receiving. You thought he would have went over that last year, but they were kind of bringing him in with Martavis Bryant still there, but luckily he's now cemented as the number 2 guy. And with Le'Veon Bell still not signed or going to be signed anytime soon, he obviously is the second best option for them right at the moment. Yes, an old friend of the Lakers championship teams in 09 and 010, Andrew Bynum, after he left the Lakers, or actually got traded from them, just had a downward spiral, never could really stick with any teams like Philadelphia or Indiana. But he's looking to make a comeback. Did like a whole little like video of showing him how he's doing right now and how in shape he is. Looking for a spot, and I believe today the Lakers gave him like an open gym to do whatever he wanted, which is kind of crazy because obviously he's not with the organization anymore, but it's like a free run, as they say. And we'll see how this goes. They do have one more roster spot open. And then for other news, the Chargers wide receivers, they definitely let Phillip Rivers down this past weekend. there's probably like 3 to 4 passes, each of them for Travis Benjamin and Tyrell Williams, that were dropped or considered drops, but maybe 1 to 2 each was just a little bit off by inches or a little bit overthrown, and the other 2 were just complete drops. And both these guys are wearing gloves, so I don't know how that happens anymore, but we'll see how that turns out. We'll see if any of those guys last a year. And then also the men's USA soccer team gets a W against Mexico yesterday, 1-0, and they still don't even have a head coach set, as the Team USA does not. So that's pretty crazy that they got the W in a big rivalry game. Awesome for them. And then also USC women's soccer team, they're now ranked number 3 nationally. You'd think, since they're still undefeated, that they would be already ranked by now, but it took about 2 weeks for them to crack the top 5, which is pretty cool. And yes, ending on the sad note, that main reason why I'm even into Warner Brothers comic book movies, DC Universe as they call it, is because of what Henry Cavill has done and taken with the Superman IP, and he's done really well, especially with Man of Steel. Saw that like 3 times in the theaters, and then didn't really see the other ones, but I was still a fan of all the other movies, especially that he was in. And I don't know, I think the talk just went bad when they're trying to get him in Shazam, which is coming out, or I think Black Adam, which is a movie that consists with The Rock as a superhero or a villain, and he's supposed to do a cameo in there, and then apparently he didn't want to, and now the talk to stop, and he decided to leave. Don't know what's gonna happen, don't know what the heck they're gonna do for the whole storyline. They spent so many years doing this crap, and then now you have to throw it all away, and you lose a good actor in the process. But maybe he needed an open schedule because he's gonna be the next James Bond in a few years. We'll never know. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think, and have a great rest of your day.